It was a bitter Tuesday evening when she stood silently by the door, suitcase zipped, coat buttoned to the neck, her eyes as frigid and distant as the winter night creeping in behind her. I had just walked in, still loosening my tie, my mind cluttered with emails and meetings, when she dropped the words that cut clean through everything I thought was permanent. "I'm leaving tonight. Don't try to stop me." At first, I thought it was one of those empty threats, something dramatic sparked by a petty argument. But then I saw it, that terrifying stillness in her eyes. No tremble in her voice. No hesitation in the way her fingers adjusted the strap on her shoulder. It wasn't a moment. It was a conclusion, a decision she had made long before the words were spoken. We had been married for 9 years. 9 years of shared bills, morning coffee, overdue laundry, and slow-danced anniversaries in our dimly lit living room. I thought we'd survive enough storms to make it to sunrise. Sure, life had worn us down. Work stress, unpaid attention, long silences. But I never imagined this, her walking out like a ghost fading mid-sentence. "Why?" I asked, barely getting the word out. "Why now?" She didn't answer right away. Her hand rested on the doorknob, tight like she knew if she loosened her grip, she might collapse. And then, quietly but firmly, she broke the silence. "Because I'm tired of feeling invisible. I'm tired of waiting for you to see me. I'm tired of living like a guest in my own life." Her voice trembled at the edges, but her resolve didn't crack. I just stood there, completely still, every unspoken apology, every misconnection, every not tonight, maybe tomorrow, crashing into me all at once. I wanted to defend myself, to list all the things I did right, to reach for her hand like it still belonged in mine. But deep down, I knew she wasn't wrong. I had let her fade. I stepped toward her, barely breathing. "Please, we can fix this." She shook her head. Calm, cold, done. "No, you've been saying that for years. Nothing ever changes." Then she opened the door, and the cold air rushed in like a reminder. She wasn't just leaving the house. She was leaving me, leaving us. I followed her outside, every step feeling like it wasn't mine. The cab was already waiting, headlights piercing through the quiet street, like interrogation lamps. She loaded her bag in the trunk, without even a second glance. I stood there, in the dim porch light, a man watching his life pack up and disappear. She paused for a moment, halfway in the cab, and looked back at me. Her eyes were glassy, holding back everything I didn't say. "Don't follow me. Don't call. Just let me go." And then she was gone, just like that. Tail lights fading down the road, taking everything I didn't know I still needed with them. I stood there long after the car disappeared. The night air bit into my skin, but I didn't feel it. My hands were numb, not from the cold, but from the weight of everything I'd taken for granted. Inside, the house felt foreign, not like an empty place, but like a memory abandoned mid-scene. Her side of the closet, hollow, the bathroom shelf wiped clean. No perfume bottles, no hairbrush, just absence. Even the silence sounded different, like it had been rewritten. I sat on the couch and didn't move, just stared into space, letting it sink in. She wasn't coming back. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Days blurred into weeks. I went to work. I came home. I slept. I ate. All on autopilot. People reached out, asked if I was okay. I told them I was fine. I wasn't. I wasn't just missing her. I was grieving the version of myself that had existed in her love. The man who once believed showing up late still counted as showing up. Nights were the hardest. Lying in bed with no one beside me. The weight of the mattress too light. The room too quiet. I'd stare at the ceiling, wondering where she was. If she had found peace. If she ever looked back. And then one night, weeks later, I slipped on my coat and felt something crumpled in the pocket. A note. Her handwriting. My breath caught. It read, "I loved you more than you will ever understand, but love alone isn't enough when you stop showing it." The ink was smudged, like a tear had fallen onto the page while she wrote it. I held it like it was a living thing, fragile, final, and full of everything she never said out loud. That letter cracked something open in me, not the kind of break that shatters, the kind that lets light in. I didn't change overnight, and I didn't change for her. I started changing because I finally saw myself, truly saw, and didn't like what I'd become. I learned to slow down. I started cooking meals we used to love. I picked up old hobbies. I called my friends. I talked to a therapist. And I listened. I paid attention to everything I had once dismissed as noise. Months passed. Then one spring afternoon, I saw her again. She was across the street outside a cafe, coffee in one hand, laughing at something her friend said. She looked light, free in a way I never allowed her to be. My chest tightened, but not from pain, from peace. I didn't cross the street. I didn't say anything. I just watched her smile, smiled to myself, and kept walking. I still think about her sometimes. The way she stood in that doorway. The strength it took to walk away from a life that felt like slow suffocation. But I don't resent her anymore. I admire her, because in the end, she did what I couldn't. She left a love that no longer felt like love. And maybe that's what real love is sometimes, not the staying, but the walking away when you're no longer seen. And me, I didn't lose her. I found myself.